Hi, I'm Neil McGregor and I own a building and refurb company in Newcastle upon Tyne, the UK. We predominantly work in the residential sector doing extensions, roof replacements, loft conversions, internal refurbs, kitchens, bathrooms, a full range of gas services and pretty much everything in between. I've been doing this now since 2007 and we achieve on average anywhere between 20 to 30% growth in revenue year in, year out. Still absolutely love doing what I'm doing. I don't plan on changing anything anytime soon. The ambition is still there, and I love to see the company grow and we get better. I am a big fan of systems and pressure testing systems that we put in place to ensure that we are constantly growing and becoming a better company. The reason I'm doing this little series of videos is basically just to offer a bit of free advice, help and hints to customers on choosing the correct contractor for them. It is by no means a sales pitch. I am not loading you into any sort of sales funnel to try and advertise to you further down the line. It is a genuine free help and advice video on helping you choose the correct contractor for yourself. Okay, so what sort of things can go wrong? I could spend all day talking about individual specific things that can go wrong. It all depends on the particular job type and what work's getting done. I would spend a lot less time vetting someone to come and paint me garden fence as opposed to build as a huge £380,000 extension. That being said, it's still pretty vital that you pick the right contractor for you or the right company for you, regardless of the size of the job. I mean, let's face it, £100 to someone is the equivalent to £100,000 to someone else. It doesn't make any difference. You should still be vetting contractors to get the most out of your money. Basically, you want a good fair job. So it's probably worth starting this section as well with mentioning, even when you do find a good contractor, you're still going to hit problems. There's no two ways about it. There's far too many variables and far too many moving parts to most building projects where you're not going to come up against some sort of issues. The difference between a good contractor and a bad contractor is the good contractor will still get the job over the line and still make sure it's done to the specification they said it was going to get done. The bad contractor, unfortunately, is just going to take your money and run. So, like I say, I could speak all day about things that could potentially go wrong, but it mainly, from my past experience, the two main factors of things going wrong fall under two headings: either poor communications or poor cash flow. Let's start with poor communications. So, if your contractor has not gave you a breakdown of costs and a full itemized quote, you get 3/4 of the way through the job and they invoice you for a load of work which wasn't on the original quote, but it's deemed as extras. Now, extras happen all the time on jobs, but you need to be communicating between each other when these extras occur. You can't just sort of throw it in someone's face at the end, and then the customer gets a surprise. Well, what's all these thousands of pounds worth of additional works? I didn't ask for that, and I didn't realise you were doing them. So I see that happening day in, day out. Again, poor communications can be anything from, the ground workers are going to be there on Monday and they don't tip up till Thursday. Again, it can happen, other jobs are running behind, but it's essential that communication line's there and you are communicating with each other so you know what's going to happen. The other huge one is poor cash flow. Again, this is probably the biggest one, especially in the building industry for some particular reason. So, a specific contractor may, price your project cheaply to win the work, or he may price it cheaply thinking he's priced it correctly, or they've priced it correctly, and it's not the case. It's underpriced. They get halfway through the project and they realise it's underpriced, so they've then got to go and start another project to get the initial deposits off that job to pay their overheads. This terminology is it's called robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm sure you've heard it before, and it happens extremely often in the building industry. The problem you've got is when you run out of Peters to pay Pauls, and that's unfortunately when you're left in a situation with half a project, a builder with no cash flow, and ultimately a limited company that ends up going bust, and your life savings down the drain, as well as your mental health. I'm not saying it happens all the time, and it's the extreme end of what can happen, but it does happen, and it's certainly something you need to be taking into consideration whilst deciding on which contractor to pick. There's a load of other things that can obviously go wrong. You can end up with a contractor that's completely unprofessional, bad workmanship, poor project management skills, bringing in other subcontractors, them not turning up, parts of the job running behind and stuff like that, no knowledge of health and safety. If HSE come on site and there's no risk assessments, there's no F10 being filed, there's just no regard for the health and safety of the workers, there's no regard for the health and safety of the client, and HSE decide to close that site down, it's going to be pretty unfortunate for both the builder and yourself until everything gets sorted. So yeah, I mean, like I say, I could talk forever about things that could potentially go wrong, but you need to be thinking about potential issues before the job starts, and you need to gather enough information from the potential contractor to satisfy your need that these issues aren't going to happen on your project. Okay, so we're going to do some desktop research. I am obviously just going to do it on my own company. I'm not going to start putting other companies in when I haven't had permission to do so. So I'm going to do a simple Google search for Neil McGregor Property Services and see what sort of content comes up. Now, it's important to know that not everyone has online content. A lot of people do nowadays, and it's certainly the way to go. But personally, I know a lot of contractors and other companies who have little to none online content, and they're still very, very good contractors, to be honest. But at the same time, this day and age, most stuff can be found on the internet, and for how quickly it is to do a Google search, it's always worth doing just to see what sort of content it brings up. So I've searched for my company here, and straight away you can see the company is it's linked to specific addresses. So you've got the unit address there. You've got the personal address there under company's house, and there's also reviews online, which is great. So if you were doing from a due diligence point of view, this would be a fantastic one, because there's a page one of Google, and there's a load of content. So first thing I would probably be doing here would be checking the specific reviews, see if they sound genuine, have a look from who's reviewed and have they reviewed elsewhere, because there's a lot of people who are under the line in this world who will genuinely put fake reviews on. And if I'm honest, it's not that hard to do, to set up a fake Google account and put a fake review on. So you want to be ensuring that these have come from genuine people. If you can, try and get in touch with the people and ask them yourself if it's genuine. Also, you want to, one of the first things I would inevitably, and I think everyone's the same, you would go to any negative reviews first and see what's going on there. Again, I would try and get in touch with them. See what went wrong with the project, get a little bit of feedback from them as well. No one's perfect. It's not impossible to get a bad review. It's certainly not impossible to kind of let someone down or create some sort of issue on a project. We're all only human, so I would be trying to find out what went wrong on any particular jobs. In fact, to be honest, I would find that information more useful than 100 positive reviews. I'd be more interested in trying to get in touch with the ones who left bad reviews. To be fair, that's what I would personally be trying to do. You've got Company's House. I would be going on Company's House and ensuring that it is a genuine company. You can go on filing history. You've got the people down the bottom there, just to ensure that that is the director. See when the company was made, the company number, or the VAT registered, so on and so forth. Check the filing history. It might even show you what the cash and bank figure is, so you can see if it would be a company that would be a suitable fit for yourself. So yeah, online content is huge, and I think most people are starting to cotton on to the fact that it's a very good marketing tool as well, online content. So most decent companies will have quite a bit of online content for you to look into, and just make sure they are who they say they are. Okay, so you've shortlisted a few contractors and you are starting to meet up with people. Now is the time to do all your due diligence as best you can. So first things first, I would just be getting to know them. What are they like as a person? Do they have values? Do they stand for something? Are they professional? Do you feel as if they're going to be easy to work with? Are they going to do a good job for you? You can normally tell a lot about a person within the first 5 minutes of talking to them, what they're about as a person, what their character's like, so on and so forth. I would certainly be asking to see some of their current sites to ensure that they are actually working at the moment, and yours isn't the only project that they've got lined up. Alarm bells would be ringing if this was the case. Also, if they're a good, professional, proud contractor, they would have no problem with you popping down and taking a look at some of the sites, as long as health and safety is followed. I would certainly be asking what size projects are they used to carrying out. It would be no use giving a £150,000 job to someone who the biggest job they've ever run is a £5,000 small refurb. Can they actually afford to cash flow that job? It's no use, trying to cash flow, again, a £150,000 job if you've only got £500 in the bank. You want to be getting someone who is familiar with building regs and the stages that the building inspector is due, if at all the building inspector is even applicable to that particular project. Again, your contractor should know this and should be able to give you a bit of help and advice. I would 100% be asking to see insurance and what they're actually covered for, if anything at all. If there's plant hire on site, they need to be covered for plant hire. I would be wanting to make sure that they are covered for their staff, or they operate in a business based on mainly subcontractors, or is it PAYE, or is it both? It's more than often both. So I would certainly be asking to make sure that everyone who sets foot on site is covered by their insurance. One thing that a lot of people don't realise as well is, are you notifying your insurance company? Because you need to, if people are doing work on your site or your home, you need to be notifying your insurance company as well. I would be asking for referrals from past jobs without a doubt, and I would actually be following up on them. Give them a call, ask if you can pop your head in and take a look. It depends how important it is to you to make sure you're getting the right contractor, and I suppose it depends on the level or size of the job. But if it was me personally, I would be ringing people for referrals just to double check that this outfit's definitely the right company that I'm getting in. I would be asking what their communication lines is and how easy it is to get in touch with them, and how I will be getting in touch with them. Do they have admin staff? Do they have an office? Am I just solely reliant on the contractor's mobile phone? How well do they respond to emails? One thing I would be taking note of at this point as well is how often they're replying to me to correspondence now, even though they haven't got the job. If it's taking them 3 months to get a price back, alarm bells would be ringing there. Yeah, everyone gets busy, but it's an indication of, okay, they're busy, but that their sales process isn't great. If they're taking 3 months to get back to you, what else isn't great? I would also be asking what documentation you're going to get with your project when they start. Is it going to be a Gantt chart? you want a schedule of works, you want an itemised quote with all the cost centres broke down, health and safety documentation. What you really want to know exactly what's going to be in place when this particular contract starts your project, so you can hold them accountable to it. And ask their opinion. They're the experts at the end of the day, so they should be able to answer 99% of the questions that you've got to ask. And even if you know the answers to the questions, ask them. See if you get the same response. If there's something that they say and it's completely off, again, I would be trying to sort of not so much catch them out, but just test their knowledge. Make sure it is the right contractor for you. So yeah, I would, like I say, the main one is just get to know them and follow the list of different things to test them against, and check all their insurance and documentations, etc. Okay, so you've got some prices back, and I just want to give you an example of what it would particularly look like if we sort of priced for your project, and I would be comparing this to what you're getting. There's probably much better people out there than us, but this is what we do and this is what works for us. So I would expect the bare minimum for yourself. So this is a particular project that we would issue a QS report to the potential client. It has a full list of all the cost centres of what's going on in that project with a labour and material price attached to it. It's completely transparent. There's nothing hidden. There's no hidden costs in and amongst there. And if we scroll down here, it actually gives a breakdown of each individual cost centre. On top of that, what's happening in that cost centre, what the labour quantities are, the labour totals, materials totals, etc. It is absolutely transparent. There's nothing hidden. It's ideal for a building project. We wouldn't usually go to this extreme, if I'm brutally honest. If it was a smaller job, we normally only do the QS reports for a building project where there's multiple moving parts. If it was a simple bathroom replacement, it would still be an itemised price, but maybe not on this level. So as you scroll down, it's got all the, like I say, it's got all the cost centres on, and the customer can clearly see exactly what they're getting charged for and to what amount. It's a very, very good document to prevent any extras occurring or arguments over extras, if you like. So if there's additional works, it'll not be labelled on here, and that's very easy to portray that back to the customer because it's in black and white exactly what we are charging for. So it's just another fantastic way of keeping the communications crystal clear. And like I say, it's got everything priced. So if the customer reads through this and believes there's something that hasn't been priced which should have been priced, again, it's really easy to rectify from there. On top of this, with every single job we do, we would always issue a guarantee. You want to be looking for something like this from the potential contractor as well. Are they confident enough in their abilities that they're going to offer you a guarantee for the works afterwards? This one here, we just simply offer on any particular project, doesn't matter how big, how small it is. On bigger projects, we can offer an insurance back guarantee as well. But like I say, you would get this regardless of any size project. So I would certainly be looking for any sort of guarantees they offer as well, and a crystal clear breakdown of costs of what they're doing. And whatever you do not be duped into the cash price. And if you're trying to eliminate the VAT element from a project, it screams unprofessional from the contractor, and it's not even worth contemplating going down that route. Trust us, for the sake of attempting to save 20%, I guarantee it's going to end up costing you at least 30 or 40% more by the time you put everything right, and you're not going to get invoices. Not to mention the fact it's completely illegal as well. So stay clear if you're ever offered that option. So I hope that helped out. I hope that answered some of your questions on regards to appointing a contractor to your project. If you would like any more videos, be sure to send me an email or drop me a message. Thank you very much.